I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the couch, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Detroit Lions. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
It's now third down and 9 yards to go.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. The shotgun snap for Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the 42-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I know you ain't got it. Hey. Check the call.
Stafford. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 35.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Here's Stafford. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jesse James, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Haskins to throw it. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Haskins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now it's Haskins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they got out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
21. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. Catch made by Fulgham. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
Set, lady. Watching the ball. Let's go, baby. Turn over. Get that ball. Get that ball.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Stafford. That is caught. It's Perriman. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Set. Yellow lady. Right there. Yellow lady. Check, check. Easy alert. Check, check, check. 32. Check, nickel. Kill. Zebra. Kill. Check 99.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Stafford now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now Johnson. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the run.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Out of the gun, Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. picked off at the 36.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Let's go now. 7 ending.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the Lions' 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go one more.
On 2nd down, Love. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
You.
They'll run again with Love on first down. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Redskins have taken the lead. Hopkins with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Watch the slap. Watch the slap. He's coming. Double Omaha. Ready, move.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Montez Sweat in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's one heck of a 3rd down conversion, a pickup of 39. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
3 down. Easy.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Red 80. Right there in the middle. 55. Red up, bring it. Hey, 70.
Again, it's Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 34-yard line. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Johnson's got it complete. That's good for 28 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All day, baby, all day.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go play action now. Haskins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 20-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
53, ready. He's crossing. He's checking.
Again, it's Johnson. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
3rd and 2, Stafford. That's going to be caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
Switch. You go tight. Monday. You got tight.
They'll run it with Johnson. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
They come out here in the eye. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. To Johnson again. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
11.
To throw is Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And this one is right through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. It's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, here's Love. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now 2nd and 6 at their 48-yard line.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field. Kill. Turn it up.
From just shy of midfield, Haskins trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Hank's almost going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From his own goal line, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
13 yards. It's now 3rd down and 10.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 10. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down. Haskins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Will Harris. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Back to throw, Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Lady!
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Play.
Watching your five.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Love. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, it's Scott. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Going to give this time to the tailback. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Love. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. He'll look to throw. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They go to Johnson again. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards.
Hey, Blue 60. Blue dead, blue dead.
Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory.
Set, 250. 55.